First of all, it's always a challenge when you don't have one client, so to speak, but you have 6. So it's very much a question of creating something so flexible that you can facilitate everybody and their different individual storytelling. So we came up with the triangular structure that you see behind me.
There are a lot of complexity and moving parts in this structure. Specifically, we need to set them up in place, and we have to put them in different locations with different types of ground.
So the structure is also about, in a way, being invisible, or not to stealing too much attention away from the narratives on the story.
Wir haben uns dazu entschieden, das Leben.
We decided to present and focus on the life of Paul Thygesen. Paul Thygesen was imprisoned here at the Husum-Schwesing concentration camp, and because he had medical training, he was assigned to work as a doctor here.
Wurde als Arzt hier eingesetzt.
So with this story, there was a limited amount of materials connected to him. So we're working with what we have. So this is a deposition that he wrote. It's the few pictures we actually have of him. And then we use the things we add to really highlight those things. So the actual historical pictures and artifacts stand out.
What I tried to do here was to sort of make a mix of sort of slow ambient musical elements combined with some real sounds and real recordings of sounds that sort of relate to each location.
So with the graphics, we really wanted to show the hope and despair aspect of it. So we chose to have these sides that are dark and then light on the other ones. But the stories we're telling are also quite nuanced. So we have the dark coming into the boards of the light as well, and the opposite, to show that there's always some hope in the despair, and there's always some despair afterwards in the hope when you go through some of these things.
Und hatte die Aufgabe.
He faced the difficult task of providing medical care to all the other prisoners housed here, at peak times over 2,000, without the necessary equipment or sufficient personnel support. This meant he carried an enormous responsibility and constantly faced critical questions. Who can I help here? Who might I no longer be able to help? Who is it no longer worth trying to help?
Wem kann ich hier helfen? Wem kann ich vielleicht auch nicht mehr helfen? Wem lohnt es nicht mehr zu helfen?
I try to make it really slow so people don't really notice it that much. It can sort of slip into the background, so you may hear it at first, and then it sort of blends with the background noises of the place. But it still sort of sets the mood, and it also sort of creates a bubble around the exhibition. But I think what the thing I'm most proud of is that how working in teams we were able to, no matter the kind of issues, because there's always issue when you put the structures on site, we were always able to come up with some hack to make it work, no matter what.
Was ich ganz spannend finde.
What I find particularly interesting about the idea of the triangle structures is that we have different triangle structures at memorial sites in Schleswig-Holstein, in Hamburg, and in southern Denmark. Each triangle structure highlights a different theme or biography. I hope this encourages people to visit the other sites as well and to engage with the stories told there.
Die dort erzählt werden.